Ekuya here. I'm watching Live for Love TV. Live for Love TV, very educative program. Please subscribe, like, and share. Bless up, Aya.
Hello everybody, my name is Caleb and you're watching Live for Love TV. Like, share and subscribe. Thank you.
Like, share, subscribe to Live for Love TV.
Make sure you like, share and subscribe to Live for Love TV.
Welcome back to Live for Love TV. Today's the 20th day, the 5th month of the 22nd year inside the 21st century. Hope everyone's doing well out there. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about books. Now, I've said before in videos before that I like reading, and I wish if you're watching me today you also would like reading, because I think it does a lot of benefit. I think it's second only to traveling, when it comes to educating the mind. I think traveling is the most powerful thing, and then books are probably somewhere around about second or third, or in the line of educating the mind and opening the mind, expanding the mind, should we say. Now, any book you read is always going to have a start. That's how the book is. It's going to have a start, then it's going to have chapters, 1, 2, 3, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 chapters, and then obviously an end. Now, in those chapters when you're reading, depending on what the story's about, you're going to have characters that are in chapter 1 that may not be in the last chapter. They may have long since faded away before you get anywhere near there. You may find people who come in somewhere along the line, like chapter 6 or 7 or 8, and stay to the end, or maybe only 2 chapters and they disappear, maybe only 1 chapter. This is how the book is written, this is how books are written, and this is how books are read. So all these characters that you see in this book, regardless of who they are and how they affect the person that is observing these characters, they come, they go. You may, if you're fortunate, get a good story where when you read that story, the person in chapter 1 is all the way down to the last chapter. But I'm making this analogy to say that chapter, and those chapters in that book, is exactly the same as your and my life. We have a start, we have chapters that we go through depending on how long we live, and then we have an end. Now, the people who are watching this right now, this is a chapter for you. You're in some chapter in your life. I'm in some chapter in my life. But you may watch this when I've already come to my end. It's possible. Who knows when you're going to see this particular video. You could see it 10, 15, or whenever, and I've already hit my end. All of my chapters are closed, and your chapters are still going on. And that's exactly, just like I said with the book, that's how life goes. Look at your life in chapters. Early days, the middle of your life, chapter goes on, and you're going to realize, if you look back and if you're conscious enough, that probably the character that you were in chapter 1, 2, and 3 has been developed throughout the time that the book goes on, that life goes on, and you're very different to the person you are before you get to your end. Now, the end is only your end, and your end may be a chapter for somebody else. It's as simple as that. So, as in my life, people who I've grown up with, they've come to their end, but they were a chapter in my life. Chapters never to be forgotten, but they were chapters in my life. Just as when I end, I'll have been a chapter in somebody else's life. There's one thing for sure. Maybe all the people you're close to and you grew up with will pass before you, but there is almost no way that you'll pass and there'll be nobody left behind you. That's the way that nature has planned it. That's the way the human beings are. So when you pass, you'll be a chapter in somebody else's story. And so I bring up this point so that people are try to be a little bit more sober and not so emotional. Because what a lot of us do, and what I did in my early days, was I wasn't that sober. I wasn't that sober growing up. So some of the chapters in my early days are fuzzy. Maybe if somebody brings me back and we talk about it, I'm going to have a complete different recollection than a lot of other people would have, because we wasn't completely sober in those days. We'd be smoking, we're high as a kite, as they say. I never drunk, but many people drink and approach the world that way. What I would say is that that's a chapter. If you ever get to a chapter where in your life where you're able, before your end, where you're able to sober up and you look back, you're going to realize that your life could have taken different turns if you were more sober. You may have seen more doors that were open to you if you were more sober. So I hope that's a sobering thought for now, to think about our lives and separate them into chapters, and not to take anything too seriously or to get too emotional about anything or anybody. When people have a go at you, say you're an idiot on YouTube, you're backward, you know what you're talking about. If you're a YouTube person, don't take that. That's just a chapter. It's just another chapter in your life. There's very often that the people who are saying good things about you long after you've passed and you've come to your end are the same people who are telling you you're an idiot during your chapter of your life. So you can't take anything too seriously. People shouldn't take themselves too seriously. You know, take yourself seriously enough so that you don't end up to be a complete fool. But don't take yourself too seriously, and don't take people in your life too seriously, because you make mistakes. You say things that maybe you wish you hadn't said. You say things that you feel like people drew you out and made you have to say those things, and later on you think, you know something, I wouldn't say that now. I'm more mature, I'm more sober, I'm stronger. I don't have to go down that road anymore. So think about these things, and as I said, I don't know, maybe you'll get to your end of your chapters and to the end of your life and you'll never really sober up. And I call sobering up when you're actually able to face your own emotions. You don't just react to things because you're emotionally, because that's what happens when you're not in a sober state. You're highly strung. You're quick to kick off and quick to put people in their place in a very negative way. That's what happens. When you become more sober, you realize half of this stuff doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It's not that important. It's just another word in a chapter, in a life that's hardly that important and really doesn't mean anything. Anyway, take care. See you soon. Be back at you. Live for Love TV.